You know, I could really see a lot of people getting really weirded out by Midnight Special because a lot of the acting is just stares like this. Stairs! So, Midnight Special is directed by Jeff Nichols, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors that is working today. I like his filmography, Take Shelter, Mud, now Midnight Special. He's doing good, and I like his style a lot. It stars Joel Edgerton, Kirsten Dunst, Adam Driver, and the great Michael Shannon, who can do no wrong. He's a fantastic actor. And for the most part, all the acting is pretty good in the movie, so there's not much to talk about there. Midnight Special is kind of a new spin on the superhero kind of genre. Even though it's hard to call it a superhero movie, it is a movie about a kid with superhuman qualities. It's a new spin on it where it's much more independent feel and artsy, but also like grounded in real life. The movie makes a point of making it feel very grounded. The movie makes a point of dealing with the real world consequences and dealing with these things in a very ultra realistic way. What I mean by ultra realistic is that there's no expository dialogue at all, and there's no movie making tricks in this movie. You know how a lot of movies will give you a shot to suggest something, or give you a shot to connect things together, or have the characters speak in a way that human beings don't really speak, just to give exposition and stuff like that. None of that in this movie. The director only shows knowledge that is known by the main characters, and he only shows the events known by the main characters. It makes a lot of sense. The scenes of action in this movie are well done, and they're well done in the way that action is traditionally supposed to be in cinema. Today we have so many blockbusters that when action happens it's just like, yay, it's finally a movie. But action is actually supposed to be surprising and riveting and very visceral. And that's the way it is in Midnight Special. Even though there are very few action scenes, the action scenes have that feeling to it. Now, personally, I have a lot of respect for Jeff Nichols because I really like the style of movies that he makes, and I really like the vision for this movie. Me, myself, I've been trying to conceptualize an idea for something that is grounded in this way, but also has a very fantastical feel to it. I've been trying to come up with it in my mind, and I'm no Jeff Nichols, but it's very impressive that Jeff Nichols could pull off the tone that he did in this movie, because the tone is not the issue in this movie. The tone is consistent, and it works. It's a challenging tone to pull off, and he does it. Overall, the vision of the filmmaker is very good, but that's why it pains me to say that this movie, while it's above average, it's not great, because it does have narrative flaws. And I can be objective enough to say that even though I like the movie, and I like the direction of where it was going, objectively, there's things missing. The weird thing about Midnight Special is in the chronology of the story, the movie starts very close to the end. And in many ways, the movie starts after what would have been maybe the most exciting part of the story. And I'm not saying that all movies have to abide by this narrative structure, but I'm just wondering why we didn't get to see all the stuff beforehand. This movie is under 2 hours, and honestly a lot of it feels like filler. Which, if you're watching an independent movie or an artsy movie, you can kind of accept it because that's kind of just what independent movies are. Even though this movie isn't technically independent, it has the independent feel. But I'm kind of just wondering if we, as an audience, actually benefited from not seeing all the exciting stuff beforehand, you know? It's like we were seeing the least interesting part of the story without that being an interesting spin on the story, if you know what I mean. Obviously, you can't just convince any studio to make a 3-hour movie, this big, epic art masterpiece. But that's what would have made a great movie. And it sucks to say because that's not a world that we live in where that's an attainable goal for every movie. But that's why I can't give a lot of these movies the ratings that I would like to give them. And that's kind of just how I am, and it's a very helpless situation that I put myself into. And this is what I mean by the cool director's vision. The vision of the movie works, and the tone works, but what's missing is epic. The vision of the movie is epic, and the movie is missing the epic because it starts like over halfway through the story, you know? And it doesn't take the steps to be epic. I don't know if that's just because of the unattainability of these things that I've said for studios and stuff like that, but unfortunately that's what was missing, and that was, I think, with this vision for this movie, I think the epic part of it was one of the bigger parts of the movie, and that was missing. So this is really painful for me because I really like Midnight Special, but objectively, here's what it comes down to. As much as I can praise the things that are in the movie, there's a good amount of things that I could praise if they were in the movie, but they aren't in the movie. And the lack of having those elements in the movie kept me from really getting engaged in a very good way, you know? 6 out of 10. I liked Midnight Special. I did. If you have interest in seeing Midnight Special, please do, because 6 out of 10 is above average. It's an above average film, and it's worth going to see. If you've seen it already, comment below, let's talk about things, and like and subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned, because I am about to release in a couple of days a short film that I've been working on that is inspired by The Office. It might suck, but I think it's good. Bye.